Binary Star Gaming is your gaming network. Stay up to date on the latest gaming news and play games with us by joining our Discord today.
Welcome to our 6th annual live charity game here at RTX. I am so excited. How many of you wonderful people have played Dungeons & Dragons before? Yeah! To those of you who didn't raise your hand, first off, thanks for coming. You're probably here because you have a friend here and you just wanted to get out of the heat. Here is the basics of what you're about to see. We're about to play a game on stage for you. It's improv storytelling. I've got a little tale I'm going to tell. The players have things that they might want to do in the middle of that story. We're going to roll some dice. Random things are going to happen, and we're going to have fun. Now, I know, right? For those of you who raised your hand and want a little more details, we are playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Yay, 5e. We are in the world of Faerun. We do have a few homebrew rules, but here's the deal. We're probably going to get stuff wrong, or I'm going to make a decision that probably isn't the same as your DM's decision, or someone's going to forget to add a modifier, and it's okay. I promise you, we will still have fun, you will still have fun. If I forget the thing that was supposed to happen with the thing in the modifier, it's fine. Take a deep breath. Remember the words of Jeremy Crawford who said, "Find your bliss," and then the only thing that matters is to have fun. I have a few people I gotta thank before we get going. First off, thanks to SideQuest. They are the amazing people who help us every year raise money for charity. That's why we do this show. That's why we continue to do this show. Last night we were at the SideQuest Charity Gala and we raised, I think it was like $300 for charity for some awesome causes, and so thank you to them. Dragons, Greg, Bart, Pelham, and Shelley from Wizards of the Coast. They provided a giant prize package, which was amazing. We also had some Idle Champions codes for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms from Clive, Dylan, and Eric at Codename Entertainment. You might get a chance to get some codes today for some free stuff in that game. So definitely check out that game. They also donated to our cause. Thank you to Mary and Chris, who are the head guardians and friends of the show, and we literally could not do this year after year without them. Special thanks to Luke McKay, who did all of our official art, and I love him dearly. Aww. And thank you to all of our Patreons. We are sponsored by our patrons on Patreon. Without them, we wouldn't be able to afford to do all the fun stuff that we do, like bring dice bags with dice and codes to just throw out into the audience. Wait, I got more. Enough of the loot drops. Let's introduce our players. Playing the gnome cleric, Bernice Q. Birds, it is Julia Rogers. Playing the human wizard, Jonathan Zerna. That he donates to in favor of somebody who has helped us on the show, who is one of our Patreons, who are friends of ours. I see him rifling under there.
I like to dedicate these shots to Fireball. It was actually a year ago on this stage when I saw a little thing of Fireball, and I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if I drank all that when I cast Fireball? So it was so Today's shot of Fireball, to be consumed at the first casting of Fireball, or the equivalent spell thereof, is dedicated to our lovely man warrior. My second shot of Fireball, casting of Fireball, or the equivalent spell thereof, is dedicated to a cast who will all be out here very soon. Without them, again, there will be no game.
unfortunately, our half-orc barbarian also was not able to bring his little puppy Blue with him, but he is here today. It's John Sedlak! It's been 2 years since we've all, well, we played this morning, but like the last time this whole group has been together to play in person has been 2 years. I'm sorry, what?
This game is nice, right?
Usually, yes. You forgot. That's like the one thing you need.
Let me see if there's any in the bag of holding.
You brought us
Dice that only rolls 20s. Nope. Level up dice. There we go.
I apologize for not being here last year. I have a pretty good excuse. I had a kid. Junior, if you're watching, Daddy loves you very much.
Love you too, Dad!
You found out you had a kid.
Yeah, okay.
Just the one.
And at this point, it's actually a D&D show. Alright. You are all waking up in the morning, as you normally do at the Golden Rock Tavern, coming downstairs. It's a bright early morning. You are all enjoying not really having much to do during the day. It's been a while. We've all been pretty busy. And the proprietor of the inn is a gentleman you're familiar with, Stock. Now, the Stock is currently standing in front of a foosball table. Now, for those of you who don't know what a foosball table is, picture a big wooden chest-like thing with a bunch of little figures, and they play soccer.
I'm so concerned for all the people in the audience that don't know what foosball is. We can talk after the show. Explain that to me.
So it's actually called Dragons and Giants in this world, because one side is all, they all look like dragons, the other side all look like giants. And as you all come downstairs, the Stock says, great, this is great. You're not busy today, right?
Well, we were going to play a match of foosball, but I guess I can put that aside.
How about you play foosball?
Okay. I guess that's exactly what I was going to say.
In the words of the great Michael Bluth, that was a freebie.
So, you know the foosball table that I had here?
Yeah.
Do you want to offer you?
Well, here's the thing. My friend actually makes these tables, and he's trying to get them out to all the inns in Waterdeep, because the more that they buy his stuff, the better it is. And people like having them in the taverns, because it's better than darts, because when you get drunk and you start throwing darts, it's not good. So he's holding a competition. He's going to a foosball competition today, but he had one of his groups back out. You guys want to fill in?
Yeah, sure, but question.
Team foosball?
Well, yeah, team foosball.
Team foosball.
Why would you want your competitors to have your #1 selling point?
Well, he's my friend.
Well, yeah, he's your friend, but like...
And I might get some kickbacks.
Oh, okay, I see. A little bit of back scratching.
You got it.
There.
What's our kickback?
Well, if you win, I know that there's a little bit of a cash prize, but he is the preeminent person in town to make anything out of wood. If there's anything you want made, if you've got furniture, if you've got a table you want made, if you've got a door you want fixed,
Armor?
What about a series of dirty jokes?
if they can be inscribed in wood paneling across the wall, absolutely. He can do it.
You know, we have a mighty need for our interdimensional pocket house. That's pretty bare.
We
need chairs and tables and things.
We do actually need furniture.
Yeah.
got an international pocket house like 5 years ago. We had to furnish.
Well, actually, no, I use that for the garden.
No, we have a garden.
Carlton, the barbarian, was very adamant about the garden.
Alright, so you're gonna do this now then?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. He gives you instructions for how to go down to the guy who's running this thing. His name is Zumi Tet. And you actually recognize that name right away. Zumi is the premier woodworker in all of Waterdeep. If you want high-end, swanky stuff that's gonna make you look like you're rich even if you're not, that's the place to go. And so you head on down, and he's got his woodworking shop set up with a giant tent out front that actually has a sign that says, Giants and Dragons Tournaments Today. And you go walking on up, and there's a little table there with this registration, and there's a cute little halfling gnome sitting there at the table who looks up and is like, "Hi, hi,
Hi.
hi. Are you here for Giants and Dragons?
We are.
We're here for Dragons and Giants.
Okay, all right. What's your team name?
Team Bernie's Q-Bird.
Wait, no, I thought we were Carlton and friends.
Okay, wait, Carlton and friends.
No, the Travancore experience.
Okay, the Travancore experience. That's a really long name. Bernice Q. Burns, Carlton, and the Travancore experience. I mean, we can call you that if you're really want.
How about you just call us the Heralds of Greatest?
Oh, I have you on the list. You're the replacement team.
Why didn't you tell us you had us on the list?
Why? Because if I told you I had you on the list, if I didn't know who you were, that would be weird. I'm not psychic.
That's right.
Hold on. Jonathan the Evangelist wants to make some sort of check to determine if she actually is psychic.
Sure. Roll me a insight check.
She's like, no, I'm not psychic.
Let's see. Inside. That's 12.
Doesn't seem to be psychic to you.
Checks out.
Good enough. I don't like psychic.
Good. Yeah.
Alright, she gives you all little wristbands that are those annoying wristbands that you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to like tear this thing off. And,
The trick is turning inside out in the pool.
oh, that's good. I never thought about that. I just thought they were annoying.
See, look, it comes right off.
And she takes your broken one and she gives you another one. She does it just a tiny bit tighter. You are quickly met by Izumi Atten, who is this incredibly tall, very well-dressed human who comes up and says, "My friends, Gestapo told me you'd be coming. I have you seated and ready to go. I really appreciate you coming at the last minute to take part in my festival. You like the Giants and Dragons, do you?"
Some of us more than others.
Yeah, there's
Me, I love it the most.
Easy. Well, I will explain to you how this works. I've created a team scenario. Everybody has 4 players on their team. In the first round, 2 of you will play. In the second round, the other 2 of you will play. And if you make it to the finals, I have, he points to the back of the tent where you see basically like an 8-foot-long table. It's a 4-person Giants and Dragons table. It is my crowning achievement.
I'll take it.
Look, please,
It's mine.
please look more impressed, I beg of you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, I
That's
appreciate
the
it.
greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I appreciate it.
Dibs.
oh man, it's a table, and look, there's
You don't have to roll deception, he's begging for you to like it.
Oh,
I feel
Actually,
like
we'll put deception.
It is a very nicely crafted table. But it's, you know.
do you have a box I can stand on? I am sure.
We will absolutely have all accommodations for all types. You are not we have stranger entries into this here competition.
Wait, what?
I'm really interested.
Would you like to make a perception check and look at your competition?
yes, please.
Yes.
Please give me some
The
perception.
competition and see if they were stronger than doing this as well. Oh, okay.
So Carlton got a 19.
Good.
Travancore got 19.
Jonathan the Evangelist got a 15.
I also got a 15. It's like we're
It's like we're...
That's like we just decided our teams. What's up?
Shut.
Team Outlanders.
That's right.
Hold on. No, wait. Spellcasters with capital S.
Yeah.
Team people are actually good at foosball.
Hey, Jonathan, remember this coin that I won?
No.
It's yours.
Oh, okay.
I won it from you. You suck at foosball.
Listen, the last time we played, I had a lot to drink.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So did I.
But yeah, this time you had a lot to drink too.
Our
So,
listeners will remember who the best foosball player in the Herald's Greatest is.
Brett Carlton.
No. It's me, guys.
Bernie and
I
Jonathan.
was heard that she never plays a team.
Bernie and Jonathan, with your 15, you take a look at the assemblage. The vast majority of people seem to be here just to watch this spectacle. I mean, this isn't something normal you see in the RD. But you do peg who you think might be your competition, because they're eyeing you as much as you start to eye them. Across the room, you see 4 dwarves, all dressed in what looks like really nice, like nobleman's clothing.
Wait, was it matching? They didn't
No, they're not matchy-matchy. This isn't a boy band.
I was waiting for it, honestly.
You could still pick one.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know.
I will. You just see 4 dwarves. They're actually standing next to one of the foosball tables. They're putting on an air of toughness that you can tell is partially fueled by ego and partially fueled probably by ale. But yeah, you see that. Travancore and Carlton.
Yes.
You do notice there's another group off in the corner that catches, especially your eye, Travancore. There is a team of people, 3 people specifically, standing around a large, it looks like a barrel, but it's a distended barrel that seems to be filled with water. And you see 3 blue-skinned men and women, a woman and 2 males, in like long, flowy outfits. They recognize as genasi. They've got little pointy ears and blue skin, and there's only 3 of them, but they're standing around this almost like a small tank of water. And they're also kind of eyeing you up.
Can I do a perception to see if, like, they're, aside from eyeing us up, if they have, like, any loved ones they're interacting with?
That specific group?
Both groups.
Sure. Pick one group and give me a perception
All right,
check.
the Ganassi first, because they look like they're eyeing us up.
Well, you get 1. Other people can pick it up.
The Ganassi, that's going to be a 22 for perception.
You notice the woman?
Mm-hmm.
She just keeps playing with the water with her hands. And she kind of keeps giving it a look.
I want to add my hat of disguise on. So when it comes time, she's going to play herself.
Okay.
I'm going to get inside her head. That's how you win a foosball.
Everyone knows at a certain point in foosball, you're going to have a mirror match against a palette-off version of yourself. Just about the rules, right?
Can Bernie roll a perception check to see if they're descended from Smurfs?
Specifically the genasi?
Yes.
You don't have to, you know they're not.
Yeah, it's toast. I think you need to fix that.
All Smurfs were killed off during the spell plague many years ago. Really? You're gonna pick them?
The Great Swerve Off was a tragedy indeed.
Absolutely. Izumi says, if you will come right this way, we're gonna get round 1 started right away. I need you to split into 2 teams and decide who will go first. And if you pass the first round, I need to know who will go second.
Then we should go first.
Team first?
Yeah.
All right, team first.
You think you're hot shit? Show us how it's done.
All right. This is when the dice fail me.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually really excited for this part. Carlton, where we don't win this, and then suddenly the game has to stop.
15 minutes in, and we're done. Welcome to the Dragons, everyone, where they can stop playing foosball. Carlton, well, the 4 of you walk up to this foosball table, and very quickly, 2 dwarves step up to the proverbial plate, as it were. The one who seems to be in charge cordially holds out a hand to either one of you who wants to take it and says, I guess you're our competition for this round?
I'll reach out my hand, I go, yes, as my hat of disguise makes me look like him.
He shakes your hand and then he looks at you, he's like, all right, is your name Daryl?
Yes.
Perfect. My name is Larry, this is my brother Daryl, this is my other brother Daryl, and that's Bob over there. You can be the third Daryl.
All right, we're in 3D.
Excellent. It's a little weird for you to be on the other team, but we get that. Are you also named Daryl?
Travancore.
Would you like to change your name to Daryl?
He makes a compelling argument.
I think I have to roll some sort of saving throw to see if I have to change it to
I think as a cleric, Bernie can rechristen you Daryl if you'd like.
Bernie, you do know that takes at least an hour and several cloves of garlic.
So, Travancore says, look, all my newest friends call me Daryl.
Well, we're not close friends, but if you prefer us calling you Daryl, that'd be good. All right.
My associates may or may not choose to call me Daryl.
Well, Daryl, you're up against Daryl, and Daryl, we're gonna win, but have fun anyway. He steps back, and the 2 Daryls go walking on up. They give you steely looks, and then Bob, from behind them, walks up and claps both of them on the shoulder and whispers a little something into their ear. Jonathan and Bernie, since you are not actively playing this game, go ahead and roll perception checks.
So,
Oh, that's good.
These dice are back.
That's, let's do math, children on the fly. 18 plus 5.
Welcome to Team can't even do math on the fly.
She cuts all this out on the podcast, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do something.
I'll just start now.
Bernie, you would actually be incredibly familiar with what just happened, as you've cast Abe before.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, okay. They're gonna do that then,
We're
huh?
gonna do that.
All right.
We're gonna do that.
No one seems to be stopping them. Well, if anyone else has noticed, then no one seems to care. But yeah, Bernie, you immediately recognize that double-handed good luck as casting of aid.
Well, if we're gonna pull this shit, let's do it. As I look up spells on my phone, because I forgot my spell cards. So Bernie's gonna obviously have a drink in her hand. It's a bar. It's 9 in the morning. Why not? And she's gonna go and get some booze, and she's gonna make the sign of Bay on each of their foreheads and say, "I rechristened you Bear," and and cast bless. So yeah, attack roll, saving throw, spell ends. You are blessed.
And your neighbors are now Daryl.
And your names are now Daryl for serious.
If you're willing to give up a spell slot, you get to be christened Daryl immediately.
Oh,
Just so you all know, it now says Daryl tags.
All right, Daryl, you feel the magic course through you as you step up to this foosball table. Would you like to be giants or dragons?
You pick, Buddy.
Dragons.
Dragons
I think
it
you
is.
know more about dragons.
They are my favorite enemy.
Well,
I feel like you can get inside their head better.
well, that's good because we want them to be giants anyway. So let's do this.
yeah, you do want to be giants, don't you? It's like a complex you people have.
Bob looks at you, Bernie, the rock gnome, and says, "It takes one to know one."
No, I'm comfortable in my body. I don't need to be a giant. I just need to be me.
Well, if you were comfortable, you wouldn't be throwing all of these shade onto people who should be your kin. Instead, you are using the obvious problems that we have with our hat differential in order to try to make us feel worse about our insides, when in reality, we love who we are and what we look like, and there's nothing that you can say that won't make us feel good about ourselves.
No, I'm glad you got the point. I did want you to feel that about yourself. That is correct. That's correct.
If you are done, and he also looks over at Carlton and said,
Yeah, that's me.
looks like Daryl and is now called Daryl, and if you are done playing your games, let's play a game.
Oh, we're gonna play games. All right, I pull the hat off. Now I'm half orc, towering over them, intimidating them.
They don't seem to care. Alright, so this is how Giants and Dragons work. The two of you are going to make dexterity checks, and I'd like you to add your number together.
Dexterity check.
Dexterity check. Unless you can come up with a compelling reason to do something else.
Jonathan the Magical Squad wants to look at these two dwarves very carefully
15.
while this goes on, to try and catch any other shenanigans.
No, I think while we're reading our turn, we should come up with a very compelling reason, but I don't think that's charity.
Alright, what did the two of you get?
12.
15. So it's 27.
27. Yeah! Hey! It's a surprisingly difficult first round. You know the way the Giants and Dragons usually go. It's the first to 3 gold spins. And you're thinking, you're a little cocky, you were just
A little?
playing a dwarf, your name's now Daryl just because you want it to be. And they volley, it's back and forth and off the side, and there's a moment in where they're gonna beat you, and then just barely Travancore manages to get it into the goal. But
Yeah, Daryl!
it's Daryl! Alright, let's do round 2. Would you like to still make dexterity checks?
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, I think that's probably good for me. Alright. Not as good. That's gonna be an 11.
Another 12.
Well, they rolled a 19 and a 12, so this time,
God damn it, Daryl.
off of the height of your hubris, there's a little bit of a volley, and they right into the goal. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Travancore is a great player. Daryl not so much.
Look at this. That was my family
This one's shiny. It's fine.
Right, we all failed it twice.
All right, we're gonna do this again?
Yeah.
All right.
14.
13.
Yeah.
You're the ranger, you're supposed to be fast.
Try the course fast. Daryl is it.
You do notice Daryl seems to be guarding the goal really well. He is an excellent goalie, but Daryl can't seem to do a shot to save his life. And so while it takes you a while to get past Daryl, you do manage to get past Daryl, and eventually you do score a goal.
Daryl scored!
If you're trying to follow along in the audience, so am I.
So it's getting pretty heated. I'm gonna try to like distract one of the Daryls and like intimidate them, just start doing some shit talking, you know.
Well, let me hear it.
Hey, Daryl, you know my friend, other Daryl, new Daryl.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up over all
Daryl, I'm
this.
gonna kick your ass and break you in two over this thing.
Well, if you want to get into a fight later, we can go down and do the fight competition that's down the way. But for now, I want to just...
Wait, what? We could have joined a fight club?
I'm sorry, we cannot talk about the fight.
Yeah, I said nothing about a fight club.
I didn't say
I know it's the first rule, but come on.
No,
I could make so much money.
Next year at RTX.
Go ahead and roll an intimidation
We're
check.
actually all just gonna get in this room and kick the Guardians out of fight.
What'd you roll?
12. It's gonna be cool.
You'll get the goal, but...
So like dad levels of cool.
So it sinks in exactly like you described, and soars over. It's a really cool shot, but your concentration face, show me your concentration face with a 10. Yeah. You look a little freaked, but you do sink the shot. That is the third shot. You do win against Daryl, and Daryl, there is a cheer from the crowd. I'm sorry,
I reach across the table to shake.
They will,
Okay.
good game, Daryl, good game, Bob, good game, Larry, okay. Dwarves defeated wander off. Bernie and Jonathan are invited up to the table as you see the water genasi that you noticed before come walking on up. She just strides on up to the table, and for a moment she looks like she's going to be by herself. And then the two gentlemen that are with her haul that wood tank on over and splashing with water right next to her.
Jonathan, I was kind of hoping they would lose and not get blown. Shit.
Sucks to be you, pressure's on now.
Is this going to be like the shape of water?
I don't know. That's hopefully inappropriate for this.
I mean, yeah, I don't think she should be having sex with a fish on a football table either. That's definitely not in the rules. Not in the rules, all right.
Right. So you have this little private conversation and walk up and take your places. The water genasi, the lady, she says, "My name is Stans. That is very nice to meet you."
Yes, hi.
Yes, nice to meet you. Nice to.
I send a mage hand over to shake.
She gives a little weird look, but then shakes your hand, and then she reaches into the tank with a hand and says, "Maria, please come out, it is time." And up her arm crawls a giant octopus. And it crawls kind of up her arm, and then it places its tentacles down on the ground, and then because the foosball table is taller than it, someone comes over with a little box.
And because some people are into that.
You're into octopus playing foosball? Sure. This octopus.
Don't keep shaming, but
Listen,
I don't have any yums.
I'm just playing foosball. I don't know what they're talking about. This octopus reaches a couple of tentacles, pulls itself up next to the foosball table, and 4 of its tentacles wrap around 4 different of the bars that go across. The water genasi takes the last 2, and she says, "We are ready when you are."
oh shoot! I dropped a gold piece hanging on my leg, and Jonathan the Magic Muscular gets down under the table and very quickly casts haste on Bernie's converse.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check to try to make that unseen.
I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I'm all right.
I don't know if he is, I saw the dice.
That's an 11.
Ooh. That's an 11?
Yeah.
But they have disadvantage to perceive this.
Why do they have disadvantage?
Because it said so.
A lot of things in D&D work that way. This is not
It was worth a shot.
It's always, hey, I was willing to ask if you had some creative reason why they would have
Say
it.
anything you did for disadvantage?
You can and then try to roll a deception check.
Okay. So Bernie's gonna look here and say, if you guys lose, is the punishment that you get to eat your we get to eat your octopus friend?
Go ahead and roll an intimidation check with advantage because you went there.
I'll drink to that.
She's religious, but it doesn't mean she's a good person. Alright, well, I'm glad you gave me advantage. Okay, that's better, that's better. That's, what are we doing?
An intimidation check because you just threatened to calamari her friend.
I did, didn't I?
17? She... Why would you even say that to Maria? She is my friend. She has grown up with me. She is a thinking, sentient creature. Why would you even suggest that?
It's just, look, if you have to solve a problem, like Maria, you can just do that.
I understood that reference.
It's what Julie Andrews would do.
In her horror at your suggestion, she will get disadvantage on noticing Jonathan, who at least is just squatting down and not actively. Okay, well that's better because she did roll a 14 before and then she rolled a 2. So, get the haste off.
It was worth it.
So you've never actually, I don't think I've ever cast Haste on
No, Bernie said that when Houston. She's so excited. She's so excited.
Apparently Carlton has decided that the game is not interesting enough.
Man, I just got dice back. You can be Daryl. Yeah, get our friends that are sitting in the back. If you were in the back, put your hands up.
If you are correct, you will have a chance. We have a
Down the, there's a nice little
We've got more, trust me.
Yeah, there's a
It's
box up
okay.
here.
They never listen to me in game. Why would they listen to me now? Don't go away from me. Don't go 30 feet away. I can't heal you. Don't do that stupid thing. I won't heal you.
Alright, Jonathan, for those at home, and for Bernie, would you like to remind me what he does?
Good. All right. Choose a willing creature that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, the target's speed is doubled. It gets a +2 AC and has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action each of its turns. You actually can be used to only take the attack, hide, disengage, dash, or use object action. So it actually doesn't do what I thought it would.
It doesn't do what you thought you would, but in this case, because you succeeded in all those checks, I will say in this moment, Bernie, it does give you advantage on checks. And for those who are like, but that's not how haste works, this is where the fun happens.
Don't complain or we won't give you any dice.
Probably still give you this. Okay, the octopus takes one side, the water genasi takes the other, and it is time to roll. Now the octopus, because the octopus has lots of lips, has advantage. So go ahead and roll a dexterity check. Bernie has advantage.
Can I also use my mage hand to operate one of the?
You haven't cast it because you cast haste, but that is... Yeah, but then you cast haste. Is mage hand a concentration? Because I know haste is.
Now if we can track further, you and I should have partnered up to slow.
It is not.
Okay, here's what I'll say. You can't cast it now because we've started the round. But if you would like to do it before the next round, if you would like, you can, but not just yet. So, alright. Octopus. Here.
Oh no. Oh no, guys. Yeah.
Alright.
The first one's an 18. And my second one's an 18. 18 it is. Oh no.
What'd you roll?
Next check, so that is, I rolled a natural 1.
Jonathan, your opposing team scores. What did you do that let them
So,
score on you?
I'm kind of concentrating on haste. I'm like, oh wow, this is exciting. I think we really have a leg up on these guys. All right, wait, is the ball supposed to go that fast? Oh shit!
Why did you fail me?
I don't know, I fucked up.
Are we gonna be worse than Team Dare?
God, I hope not. You might have to turn in our capital S spellcasters.
Get your shit together.
No, I have a way. I will fix this. Stay tuned.
Bernie, the water genasi looks at you after they score and says, if you lose, do we get to eat your dog? And she'll roll intimidation on that after scoring. Oh, that's a natural 1. That's a
With that natural 1, why do you feel so bad?
Yeah, what do you fail?
So she says this, and she's super suave, and she's like, hey, if you're gonna talk about eating my friend, I'm gonna talk about eating your friend. And then her octopus farts. and any attempt at looking intimidating and suave goes away. She's like, Maria.
Octopus fart will shut down just about anything.
Alright, Jonathan gets off his mage hand, and thus, I will give you advantage on your dexterity check, because you now have an extra hand.
Don't you love how we're just playing a game called Cheat?
Well, that was fun. Oh, really? Because I was going to say that 2 on the floor totally counts. I see this 2 right here. Alright, I'll be like, alright.
Okay.
Ooh, alright.
16.
16 and
10.
that was still, it's close. It's super close. Fortunately, Maria the octopus is still slightly worried playing opposite you and manages to miss the goal shot, and so you do score against them.
Bernie's gonna pull a fork out of her pocket and look at her.
Bernie, are you currently on Coco Snoot, or is your faithful animal companion just sitting with you?
No, Coco Snoot's chill, man. Coco Snoot's like sitting in the corner like that, so.
Okay. You pull out the fork. The water genasi arches her eyebrow at you, and Travancore you recognize her cast Speak with Animals.
Oh.
She looks at Coco Snoot and she says, I'm going to pee all over where you pooped outside. And your dog is a good dog and is a faithful dog, but you hear him start to growl, and that distracts you, and you now have disadvantage.
Oh.
Because suddenly, because you don't know why, all of a sudden your dog is growling, and you don't know why. So you're now just giving me a straight roll.
I'm gonna walk over to Coco Snoot and try to calm down a little bit.
You can during this round.
Right. Oh.
During this round, you can calm him back down. Are you going to actually cast
Can
him
Coco
now?
Snoot respond?
Sure.
Lady, I am going to shit in your bed.
Dog, if you can get under the water, then I will applaud you.
I have many talents. In old country, we sleep underwater.
At this point, Travancore comes on over to the dog, to calm the dog down, and everyone's going to roll. So if you had advantage, I've given you disadvantage, so it's now just a straight roll for you, Bernie.
You're gonna be fine. You'll be fine.
And Jonathan still has advantage with his.
Alright.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Oh, nice. Nice. I got better.
You got 12, I got 17.
No, I got 14.
We got 14. Oh, you have
I have
things you
this.
get to add to your dexterity. That's not a thing I've ever gotten to do before.
It's super close. Like, there's distractions going on, there's talking going on, there's an angry dog, there's an octopus that doesn't want to get eaten, but you do manage to score the goal. It's ugly, it's brute forced, but it happens.
It's delicious. Like that.
Travancore, what do you say to Coco Snoot to calm this dog down? As you walk on up, what you hear Coco Snoot saying is, I do not understand. I will get under the water if I have to. I will swim for miles. And he's seething.
Compose yourself. You're a professional. TehBishop is the most professional member of the Heralds of Greenest. More than any of the Elfinoids sitting up here.
Wait, what?
Coco's just gonna lick your
You
face.
know, like elf-like beings.
No. Half organoids. Half orc-like beings.
That just sounds weird.
You do
It's like
manage.
humanoids.
You calm him down, Bernie, you're no longer at disadvantage. Everybody takes their positions again. Yeah.
Good sound.
I got a natural 20. Ooh, wait.
Cheers, ladies.
Oh, you want one?
Yeah, it's really
Is that?
You want some lime?
Yes, please.
I'll
That's
take
what
a
it was
beef.
called.
Sharing is caring.
Well, we usually play online, so we don't have to share each other's drinks.
True.
It's been
Fun fact, this is the first time I'm trying Austin Eastsiders. It's pretty rad.
Bird got a 20 and Jonathan the Muscular got an 18.
excellent. This volley goes on for a good 2-3 minutes. It is an exciting,
volley?
intense. Well, it's back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Okay. I didn't know if
Volleys were very famous.
Sticky wicket or something.
You know what? I'm the DM, yes. It's now a foosball term.
Oh shit.
If you are a professional foosball player, don't let me know. Back and
I
forth,
would also
back
like
and
to
forth.
talk to you at the end of the show.
It's not the most graceful of volleys, but it is intense and fast. And Bernie, are you playing goalie or are you trying to score?
No, I'm very obviously on the attack.
Okay.
Because I'm going to eat her octopus.
So, how do you score this third goal on the water genasi of her octopus?
It's like super chill. Bernie's just like staring at the octopus and she's like, and she just flicks her wrist. Ball goes in. I'm not flashy. I'm just going to kill and eat your pet.
We need to have a talk about your alignment.
Sure, man. Why? I'm not flashy. I'm just going to kill your pet. Sure. Okay. Well, then I have a company.
We're going to have a talk about all of your alignments later.
This is how all of us get fired from our jobs.
Yeah,
Well-
Jack, you want to
Fire yourself.
on the internet?
The bad news is you want to kill and eat someone's pet. The good news is you do score the third goal. And the crowd kind of goes wild because some of them are a little weirded out by the octopus thing, so it's kind of like,
Enthusiastically bitter.
I like that. You won't get advantage when you go home. Tell your DM I gave you advantage.
One of my DMs is in the audience. Izzy, I have an advantage next roll. Okay, so this is double advantage. Awesome.
Half of my online gigs in the front row, I'm fucked.
They all waved. That was great.
Steven, this means your character gets advantage, which is really good considering how bad he was.
Steven, I'm so sorry.
Alright, so the game comes to an end. You are going to make it to the final round. The other game seems to be just finishing up, so you have a few minutes to mingle a little bit or get any last prep in before what seems to be the final round of this Giants and Dragons game. It will probably be in game about 5 or 10 minutes, so I believe haste is going to end. So about 20-30 seconds after the game ends, Bernie, you are suddenly overcome with exhaustion, unable to move for about a minute. And in that
Welcome to my
time,
world.
you lose sight of the octopus as they leave.
Try to put a quick hunter's market.
Hunter's mark the octopus.
Try to get this guy.
I'm not going to attack. I just want to see where it's going and what it's up to.
It crawls back into the water. They give they don't try to shake your hand because you're trying to eat their octopus, but they pick up the water tank and they just leave because, oh my god, a small gnome who is supposed to be a cleric of good wants to eat our friend. It'd be like if someone said, I'm going to eat your bear.
Never!
Look, I wanted to kill your bear for like the first 200 episodes, so it's fine.
Lauren, as we're kind of mingling, waiting for these other matches, can I do a perception check to look for Waylon to make sure he's not going to fuck this up for us?
Sure.
Oh, that's a 9.
You do not see Waylon in it.
Alright.
You do notice though, so as this game is ending, and as Bernie's kind of recovering from the after effects of being hasted, and they're clearing the area to set up for this final round, your quick scan of the room, you see a young human marching towards you. And he's gonna arrive in like 20 seconds, but he's like locked eyes with you. He's got this big bright smile on his face. He's got this mop of crazy black hair. He's wearing what looks like wizard.
Oh my God, is it Harry Potter?
He's not Harry Potter. He's not Harry Potter. It is not that character that I have no control over or own of. But yeah, he is marching towards you.
It must be Perry Potter.
Yeah, theory
He's not copyrighted.
I think it's Mighty Max in a black wig. Is it Mighty Max in a black wig?
Well, he approaches Carlton, and you see this happen, and you can roll a perception check to see if it's a black wig.
Can I roll a perception check to see if it's Perry?
You're currently still, yeah, it takes like a minute for it to wear off or something like that.
Snap time.
Perception was a pen.
And Trevor?
14.
Doesn't seem to be a wig. Doesn't seem to be anything untoward about this guy. He's got this big smile on his face. He comes up to Carlton and he says, yes, you're Carlton Tex, are you?
Who wants to know?
Yes, my name is Albert Leto. I'm going to be playing you in the final round. I'm so excited. I'm familiar with all of your exploits. I'm a big fan.
I'm really gonna have to regret killing this kid later. I say
I have followed your progress from all of the bards as they tell your tales about saving the town of Greenus and going to rescue the wildlife of the crypt garden and saving the inn that you have stayed in and all of the wonderful things that the Herald of Greenus has done.
I grabbed a pen and I signed his forehead.
You go to do that and he's like, oh no, the upper arm, please.
Okay.
It'll be better for the tattoo. Ready?
Never meet your heroes, kids.
Be sure to see someone immediately because it is going to smudge.
It's gonna smudge, yeah.
Travancore, it is a pleasure to meet you too. I am so excited.
Travancore's gonna try something a little bit different. He's gonna hold his hand like this. He's gonna fold 2 middle fingers like that, and hold up 2 fingers like that. And he's gonna say, too sweet, and see what he does.
Too sweet!
Too sweet!
And he cocks his head at you and he says, is this a secret code? I do know some magic, but I don't know any magic that does this.
Does he too sweet? No. Okay, it's fine, but he's not all in.
And I see your bare shadows here. I'm so excited. It's such an honor to meet you. I can't believe I'm going to be playing you in the final round. And at this point, you guys have recovered from your game and you can walk on up. And he will look at the both of you and be like, Jonathan from the Watchful Order of Magus and Protectors and Bernie of the Queen Bay. It is my honor, pleasure to be playing you. And this is so exciting. I didn't even know you were going to be here.
Surprise! Up top. And I send my mage hand to give him a high five.
And you can tell immediately this seems to be some kind of magical person because he not only doesn't flinch at your mage hand, he immediately casts mage hand and gives you mage hand to mage hand high five.
Impressive. Most impressive.
I am always happy to meet someone else who can cast mage hand and do high fives. So at this point, you're ushered over to the grand stage, which is called the grand stage, even though it is basically just the spot in the back where they have this giant foosball table. And it is set up to be long enough for all 4 of you to play. And as you walk up to the foosball table, the young man that you had just met, he ushers over 3 other people, because obviously he's got to have a team. And I'd like you all to roll perception checks.
Oh.
12.
17.
That's a natural one.
Bernie, what's got you so distracted?
She just really wants sushi.
The octopus look tasty.
We have a hankering.
Or like takoyaki, or just, anything. It's fried octopus balls for those of you who are like, what the fuck's that? It's actually very good, so.
I think the crowd was having more sympathy towards the octopus, so.
No!
Well, show of hands.
You were at my panel.
Anti-octopus.
Thank you.
Okay.
First
were going to have a democratic process here.
Yeah, I did. So let's do it one more time. Let's do noise this time. Pro-octopus. Anti-octopus.
Second group, you hit the first group.
That's okay.
This next part's gonna get really weird.
There are no octopus involved in this next part. Alright, next time I will apparently have you guys fight seafood. Now I know.
We kind of have a theme with these panels.
Fight spicy pad thai. I can also go for it.
Everyone except Bernie. Because Bernie is, she's hangry.
She's angry.
You guys, as you approach the foosball table, you take a look at the young gentleman who had introduced himself and his cohorts. They are all humans. The one that you had met seemed to be in some sort of wizard's garb and has already shown that he's got some magical abilities. The other three, they kind of look like street drugs in a way. They're built more like bruisers. They've got this dead look on their face and this bored, almost glassed over look in their eyes. They look just completely not present mentally. And you're not quite sure if this is just what these guys do or if there's something else going on. But they are silent and they just walk up to the foosball table.
What kind of check can I do to see if they look like the same kind of glass dead eye that we saw in the film?
I was just gonna want to roll an arcana check because I'm suspicious.
Meanwhile, Travancore is wondering if these young men share his enthusiasm for foosball.
Alright, Carlton, give me an insight check. Jonathan, give me an arcana check.
Insight 16.
No, this doesn't look familiar to you.
Alright, good. That thing sucked.
My buddy Travis just texted me a too sweet.
Aww. Jonathan, how about you?
Arcana of 22.
Yeah, there's something weird. They're not magical. You don't feel any magic emanating off of them, but this feels like they might have been under some sort of effect at one point, like a charm or a dominate person or something, but you don't actually think that they're under that now.
Oh,
It's something like that, but it's weird and it's not necessarily magical.
one moment.
All right. Hey, I'll throw out some more dice while we're in. I've been told that. I seem to remember that the people in the back needed some dice. Oh, I don't throw them like that. That would be so bad. All right. Oh, hey, would you send out some dice?
On the left-hand side.
Oh, God, we're all doing this now. All right. Back to the left. I was totally going to do this to give them time to play, and then they decided to spend too much money on dice.
Thank you. Oh, back row, hang on.
Thanks, man.
Oh, sure thing.
After moving amongst the crowd, Izumi intensives, and now we will have the final round. And he ushers you
If
back.
I cast Guardian of Faith, can I just have her kill them? Is that like...
Or would you like to just slaughter the people you're supposed to play a game with?
This is like, you guys ever play Morrowind? This is how I play Morrowind. I just kill people to finish.
We really have to talk about your own life
I think we left Bernie in the favor and came back with something else.
Travancore wonders to himself why it is that he can't have reached this.
Apparently, if you're willing to go along with Bernie, you could have had nice sushi. All right. Is there anything in the moments before this game begins
Yes.
that you would all like to do?
Oh yes, there
You
is.
all get basically one thing.
Bernie is going to cast blindness and deafness on the little Perry Potter over there.
Spell.
Are you going to do it first? Is that like your initial...
My like thing, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shake his hand and be like, would you like to do a conversion later? Would you like to hear the good word of Queen May?
And then you cast
And
blindness.
then I cast
So you're shaking his hand, like you've kind of gone down the line to get to him, you shake his hand, you take it, and he doesn't let go of your hand and cast a counter counterspell. Can you feel where?
My counterspell is counterspell.
The shot. Fireball.
What does he? All right. So what does he need to roll?
No, he is kind of leading upcast.
What does he need to roll? So what does he need to roll to resist being blind and deafened?
That's a very good question.
That's a very bad answer.
That's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Okay. Well, he rolled one.
Yeah. He's blinded now.
This is gonna happen.
So while she's doing that,
Okay, I just need to tell you guys that for like 2 weeks now, she's like, yo, if your characters die. So we might die today, friends.
Alright, so
Did you dress for a funeral?
That's what
wearing black.
Bernie does. Jonathan, you cast counterspell, so that was your moment.
Well, so that was
That was a reaction. Did you get one thing that you get to do? We're not in initiative at this moment.
that's what we'll do.
Travancore, in this moment, before you all are going to take hold and start to play foosball, what do you do?
I freeze, apparently.
It's only
You're
a
like a
reaction.
druid now. Do some woo hippie stuff.
Well, I think the whole cheating at foosball thing is very distasteful. I mean, I could cast
Of
charm.
fucking course you do.
turn around. In front of the three weird-looking dudes, I pull out my alchemy jug and I go mayonnaise, and I pour mayonnaise on their handles so it's nice and slippery and hard to break.
Fun fact,
I'm
every time
gonna
you
need-
cast mayonnaise, it makes me physically uncomfortable.
I'm going to need you to make an athletics check to try to get past all three of them, as you need to basically push them away in order to try to do this.
That's going to be a 27.
You get past the first one, who seems to like just get pushed out of the way. The second one, you can't move.
Alright, then I just pour mayonnaise on his hands.
It doesn't have to be.
Then we have to do a contested grapple check. And now the fight's going to begin.
This is what I wanted all along.
Local friends around that weekend.
I need you to roll a grapple check.
So that's 19 on the die, so that's going to be a 28 total.
I'm going to say this. You know you can do this. But in this moment, Azumi walks up and he places a hand on your shoulder. And he's going to say, my friends, please, I'm trying to have a friendly competition, something fun. I do not want this to turn into a fight. Please.
Oh, I'm not trying to fight, I'm just trying to pour mayonnaise on his hands.
All right. You pour mayonnaise on his hands. All right. Do you then go back
I go back to my session.
I would like to, so we've got one guy who's got mayonnaise on the thing, we've got another guy who's got mayonnaise on his hands, we've got a third guy who seems to be immovable, and we've got your biggest fan who is ripping the side of the foosball table, blind and deafened.
I've not seen Tommy. His light got that friends.
In this moment, I didn't know I was running an evil campaign until this very moment.
Just try to go have like a napkin or something, or anything on his person, like his pack. Like, I
No!
want.
No! So we can cheat and win.
This is where our money gets stopped.
Because we don't have the money to go to Fantasy IKEA and furnish our new home, so we're going to do it this way.
Don't you want to know if have the
Ask
road?
Olivia for this kind of stuff.
Look, we haven't seen your girlfriend in ages.
It's been a couple of days.
It's been like 9 years.
And Zumi says, we are about to begin! Because I don't want to hear about all this mushy stuff. Alright, you take hold. The only thing I need to know, are you giants or dragons?
Dragons.
Dragons, excellent.
Would you be giants? If you would, please just leave now.
Alright.
Don't actually do
Why would you do that?
That's right.
I'm an Eagles fan, so I'll give it to
You should feel bad about yourself.
You grip the side of the foosball table, ready to play this epic game of foosball. Your opponents on the other side grip the table, and the world goes gray. For a moment,
Right?
you're gone. And suddenly you're standing on a field. For the next 200 yards is a giant foosball table with giants and dragons, huge wooden sculptures hanging from poles above you. And across the way at the other goal is your greatest fan. Just him. He's still blind though, right? Under you, you're standing under some of the giants, some of the dragons. There's dragons and giants, and he's standing there, and he's still blinded and deaf, and you see him. That wasn't nice. I was your biggest fan, and that wasn't nice.
No, it wasn't very nice at all.
Who warned you that I was going to try to steal your souls? I thought I did this and nobody knew.
Wait, what? I said internally, man, I'm gonna have to kill this kid.
She's also been making us kill children.
He's like in his late 20s. You were the ones who decided it's Harry Potter.
No, Harry Potter. There's copyrights.
Yeah.
Could he be Neville?
I will play by random.
King of the Cruiserweights!
I would love you all to roll perception checks in this moment.
Perception. Oh shit. 11.
17.
8.
21.
Bernie,
Someone's paying attention.
everyone else is looking at this guy, and they don't quite understand what's going on. You're looking kind of up at the field, and you look up at these humongous, what are the giants and dragons figurines that would be in this foosball table, but they're just in massive proportions around you. And then you look up further, and you see yourself, and Jonathan, and Travancore, and Carlton, and look, it's the three guys, and this humongous, like you have been shrunk in miniature onto this foosball table, but your bodies still loom over you, and the four of you in these large figures have that same exact dead-eyed stare that the three brutes across from you did.
This has nothing to do with the mayonnaise.
We're gonna slightly change our game.
Guys.
Yes. I know.
Meanwhile, Albrecht has kind of walked a little bit forward, and he's leaning on one of the huge dragon figures that would be normally playing foosball, and he says, that was really nasty. This would be so much easier if you just die, and then we can just get this all over with. Okay?
After you.
I mean, that was kind of cool too. I kind of want octopus too, but I'm gonna kill you and take your bodies, and we'll all go have octopus. It'll be great. And as he's leaning against the massive dragon piece of foosball table, it goes, and the wings extend out of its body, and the four legs go doosh, doosh onto the ground as he brings this statue animated to life, and as it roars at the four of you in animated wooden fury, we can roll initiative.
Bernie has this thing called a cloak of many colors, which lets her basically wear all the new fashions.
Well, it's just us random animals there.
No, it's just the four of you.
Okay, alright.
Bucks is not there, Shadow's not there, Blue is not there, Coco Sweet is not there.
Coco Sweet's taking a shit in that lady's bed. So as a free action, can Bernie use the cloak of many colors to make it look like she's wearing a Mexico World Cup jersey?
Sure. At that moment, as you look up, your cloak goes boom.
Look, they're who I was cheering for, and they're going to get a win today.
And now everyone's going to be upset. Okay, Carlton.
Well, that's a 19 on the die, so that's a 22 total.
2. Travancore.
Soft 20.
Soft 20. Jonathan.
I also got a 9.
And Jonathan has a dexterity bonus,
Yes.
so he gets to go before Bernie. All right. Oh, that worked out actually really well.
Is the bless still on them?
How long does Bless last?
However long it is.
For a finite amount of time.
It lasts until Bernie gets tired of bless and decides she wants to do the Bane voice. I thought that was Wizards of the Coast covered that. A minute, never mind.
Then no. There is no more haste, there's no more Bless. All right. As this dragon forms in front of you, mouthful of splinters, this young human warlock of some sort standing, grinning at you like he thinks this is the best thing ever. Like, you could swear you hear him go, I'm gonna kill my heroes, I'm gonna kill my heroes. You are about 150 feet away from these figures. Carlton, you win initiative. What do you want to do? Well, that would be the idea, right? Someone give that man dice.
Someone give that man a Mexican.
Yeah, but I'm not that fast. Not for 150 feet. But I will. I'm going to brandish my Storm's Fury longsword, and then I'm going to charge, and I'm going to dash. So I'm going to go a total of 80 feet towards the things, and then like kind of look back and feel Bernie scowling at me for running away from her.
All right. So you rage and you run.
Not in rage.
Oh, no rage. You just run.
I'm going to save the rage for when it actually counts.
Sure. Travancore, you watch as Carlton straight towards danger. To ostensibly fuck him up.
What do you say?
Okay, I'm going to do something that I've done a few times before. You guys might know it. It's called Hunter's Mark.
On who?
On the Warlock.
On the Warlock. Okay.
And because... What's that? What about the octopus? Octopus?
Yeah.
One thing at a time. That's all Bernie, man. Like, I'm fine with the octopus.
Bernie also scowls at you.
Okay. And because I got to do anything right now, there's my first attack for the opponent. I'm going to use my feet. What's it called? Sharpshooter. This roll, it lets me take
He's
it.
the one that fucks him up.
And you're also rolling at the Warlock? You're attacking the Warlock?
Yeah.
So, that's going to be a 14 damage.
You see it ping off of something that you recognize as mage armor. You hit him, and then it just goes, boop.
I'm still
That sad silence. Oh, that was so, there was this awkward silence. Come on.
It's okay, guys. I'll get it next time.
Next up is the Warlock. All right, the Warlock he's brought this dragon to life. He is going to look at Carlton.
Oh fuck, no, don't say wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Anyone who plays D&D knows that the only thing that can really take down barbarians are wisdom saves.
Well, here's the thing, Carlton. You ran forward,
I know, that's what I do.
and you are now in his range. And my thing doesn't have I don't have internet, so I can't
So
quite
business.
pull up. I need to.
What do you need?
I need Crown of Madness.
If you look up Crown of Madness,
I'm looking it up right now. D&D.
you'll get a better
It's an 18 on the die, so hopefully that's enough, plus whatever.
Also, extra smile.
What's the save throw?
The save throw is wisdom saving throw.
Alright, that's a soft 20.
Oh, all right. Then
Thank
you
you, level up die.
There's a moment. Thank you. To give that person dice. Thank you. I now have D&D on it. I forgot I didn't have internet on here. There's this moment where this jagged crown starts to appear around your head, and despite yeah, and you do exactly that. Somehow it goes away. All right. Next up, it's the dragon's turn. Okay, the dragon. doors. Comes straight up to you, actually, like right in front of you. Opens its maw.
Okay.
And splinters of tiny, sharp pieces of wood go spraying out as it breathes on all of you. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving.
Everyone.
Cones.
You are in a cone of
wood splinters?
magical splinters. That's a 17. That does make it.
22.
That makes it.
16.
That fails.
Ooh. Then my 15 will probably fail.
No, that actually passes.
No. Yeah, that's how math works. If you failed, you are going to take 56 points. It's a dragon, guys. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. 56 points of magical splinter damage. Those of you who succeeded take half that. Carlton, since you are not raging, you still take half.
So that's 20.
Then the dragon.
Your bear's not here, right? Your bear's basically dead.
The bear is not here. Your animal companion is not here. I love how all the joking is stopped when I do 56 points of damage.
I'm at Jonathan's starting off now.
Yeah. Now dragon dragon. Then the dragon
I got Wi-Fi. Don't show the cameras though.
Wings spread, wooden wings that creak in the air. Carlton, you will get an attack of opportunity as it now flies 25 feet above all of you and soars over the three of you who are
Storm's Fury's gone right up into his belly. I love that. 18.
That just hits.
Alright.
Just as it's going by, you manage to nail it.
Do I need to separate my damage types?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Alright, so I do. That's going to be 11 slashing.
Okay.
And then 4 lightning.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a huge gash, but you do manage to make a gash.
Which one looks like it did? Which one did I feel like it nerfed?
It doesn't look like it nerfed either.
Oh, so why did you separate them out?
Because I asked you to.
Fair enough.
Alright, the dragon creeps on you guys, flies up into the air, is now 25 feet above where the three of you are, and it is Jonathan's turn. Jonathan, the Mr. Magic Muscular, you have a dragon flying over your head.
That is disturbing.
It's kind of cool. Come on, it's a big blue dragon flying over your head. It's
Alright,
fun.
so how far away is it from me?
It is currently 25 feet above your head, and the warlock is about 150 feet down the way.
Alright. We are going to do, like I said, it was going to get weird. It's going to get weird.
Do it.
It's like a good kind of weird this one.
Jonathan the Magic Muscular has seen that we're anti-octopus.
Except for that one guy who still hasn't left.
That one guy, I don't know who she's talking to, you get dice from me. You come see me, you're like, I'm pro-octopus, dice. Send some dice.
Oh, wait, is that a Yoshi's? Oh, that's cute though, but that's not an octopus.
So Jonathan the Magic Muscular basically looked at this thing and said, yeah, octopuses don't really play here, so let's fix this. He's going to cast Polymorph and try and turn the dragon, who's a creature that he can see, into a little octopus.
Nothing happens. Jonathan, roll an intelligence check.
9.
Actually, that's enough. It's a construct, it's not a creature.
Alright, good. That's fine.
But now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Jonathan, shout it out, motherfucker. Oh, goddamn it!
Jonathan the Magic Muscular is going to try and move away from it and just as far as he can get 30 feet.
You get 30 feet back. Excellent. Bernie.
Actually, I'm sorry. He's going to move 30 feet closer to the wall.
Okay, you 30 feet closer to the warlock. Bernie.
Who's dying the most?
I think you are.
actually, I'm pretty good because I took half damage.
I'm just saying.
Actually, it would be Travancore and Jonathan who are not induced, so we are going to do what's the thing? We're not going to burn a spell slot on this, we're just going to channel Divinity, which says that you can restore 5 times your cleric level, which is now at 10. So 5 times my cleric level to anybody. Are you guys within 30 feet of me? You didn't run away like you.
Well, Jonathan just ran 30, but he's still within 30 feet away from you.
Well, I'll move up for it. And we'll do channel Divinity, and I'll split it among you guys. And the greatest thing is you also get 2 plus the spell. You just get 3. So you're each gonna get 27 points back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
I've got a feeling nobody in this audience who plays as a healer, you would cheer a little louder for like. I mean, it's not glamorous.
Thank you all for keeping our asses alive.
You really need to.
But you're doing your job.
Cheers.
I love making
So Laura lets me do like bonus actions even when I'm not supposed to. Most of you are gonna go, she should have just cast a cantrip. You can shut up. So as a bonus action, obviously, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Yay!
What does your spiritual weapon look like in this instance?
I feel like since we're fighting a dragon and our little blind Perry Potter is like Daenerys Targaryen, I'm going to cast a White Walker. If you haven't been keeping up with Game of Thrones, spoilers!
For those of you who haven't watched Game of Thrones, she's basically casting a really scary ghost-like wraith, I'm
I
gonna
saw
say.
it.
Yeah. Are you putting it next to the dragon or next to the warlock?
Decisions. I think we're going to just focus on killing children today. Since
He's not a child!
Child.
I am 28 years old. I have been a warlock for at least 8 years. The old one chose me many years ago. I am not a child.
That's cute.
Pennsylvania. The views reflected in this panel, not necessarily for those of you with this parent.
We're also going to do, like, this is, like, not a very high level spell, so we're going to cast it at, like, 4th level.
Sure. Go ahead and attack with your, with the thing that we're not supposed to talk about because we don't own that property. With your spectral wraith.
Spectral wraith ice zombie that looks like a weird old man who hasn't cut his beard in a while.
Go ahead and make your attack.
I don't make those design decisions, apparently. Rolling, I can't just press a button. Okay, that's a 14 plus 9. That's a 23. Yeah, and
That
hits. I should know this by now. I cast this so much. Thank you.
Listen, this is why having the sheets there and
Talk
having things like
amongst
D&D
yourselves.
Beyond and all that, they are at the point in where they're level 10 and there's a lot going
Talk amongst
on.
yourselves.
And so they take a moment and look at their stuff, and that's okay because no one expects anyone to know all of this stuff because that's insane.
It's easy to
I'll give
I know for a fact the Wizards of the Coast people look stuff up all the time. So in your home game, when you have to take that moment and look things up, it's okay. It really is okay. Bernie, how much damage did you do?
7 plus my spellcasting. 12.
Nice.
12 intellectual property
I think the Wraith just stand there and goes, I'm going to call a lawyer. And he goes, whoa. Anything else?
Bernie thinks about the fact that she lives in Canada now, so they're probably not going to sue her. And just contentedly waits for someone else to do more damage than she's supposed to do.
Carlton, it's your turn.
Alright, I moved my last bit of movement. I am now up with the warlock.
Sure.
I am now going to...
Do you move in such a way that you have an advantage because we're in flanking? Because
I do.
my zombie.
Sure.
I do. Move
That can
in
happen.
flanking with intellectual property zombie. my range and the bonus action, and then I will attack the Storm's Fury. Alright, that's going to be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Alright, does he get separated?
Yes, please.
Alright, so it's going to be 1 point of lightning, and 10 points of slashing.
Nice. Yep, he takes it. He goes, ow!
Yeah, guess what? I can do this again.
Okay. Do it again.
Alright, another 19 to hit.
Sure.
Alright, 11, 13 slashing, 3 lightning. Hey, guess what? Action surge.
Action surge!
I hit again.
How many people play a barbarian?
9 slashing, 1 lightning.
What would you roll? Sorry?
It was like a soft 20.
Okay, then yeah.
I just was saying, alright, we'll throw a 19 again. So
Sure.
nice. Alright, that's gonna hit as well with 20. And then that's gonna be 15 slashing, 3 lightning.
Yeah, you do some grievous wounds to this guy.
You should have just stayed number 1 fan instead of new enemy.
Alright. Anything else? He's drinking, so nope. Travancore!
Bonus action, I action surge, I did all my fun things.
I never want to assume. Travancore, what are you going to do?
So our stand is still standing?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
He looks...
I did.
He looks...
Stop equals stand equals stand. I read it on the internet.
He does look super hurt, like Carlton just tore into this kid. You have a dragon flying over you. What would you like to do?
Thought he wasn't a kid.
It's Hunter's Mark, and so like, why not to finish him? Put him out of his misery.
Because I can't reach that.
Well, I can get to him next time around. And they've got 2 spellcasters on deck, so yeah.
Are you the
Whatever
other
happens once he dies? You don't know. Let's find out. Let's kill this guy. Here we go. Where are my rangers at? Any luck on rangers? Yeah. I'm gonna roll a better bucks. Here we go.
Nope, not better box.
Well, hold on. Well, I don't think it's gonna still work, but
14. Ping! Off that magic
just
armor.
off my game today.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I figure that this
Try a bigger target.
No. But yes, but no. I'm hoping my spellcasters should do cleanup, so I want to use my bonus action to move the Hunter's Mark to the dragon.
Excellent. I will say this, Travancore, between moving your Hunter's Mark and between Jonathan attempting to polymorph and then swearing under his breath about constructs, this isn't a dragon. It is a construct. You're not going to get your dragon bonuses. Travancore gets all kinds of bonuses against
Yeah,
dragons.
they're my favorite enemy, but constructs are not my favorite enemy.
Constructs are not your favorite enemy.
Whatever, I can still attack him next time and get the bonus.
All right.
So that's good enough.
It is the Warlock's turn. The Warlock looks at you, Carlton, and says, right, let's get this going. And he's gonna make a attack against you. It is a melee.
That's okay.
Is it a spell?
It is.
How far am I?
At this point, you're like 120 feet.
Because I ran.
Yeah, you're pretty far away.
Okay.
He also rolled a natural 20, so he's gonna hit you. As you feel him, he grabs you.
Yeah.
Feel
No.
the life sucking out of you.
That's my life. Give it back.
It's your life? Is it now or never?
I will stab you.
That's 18 necrotic damage.
He fly?
No, he fixed that at the beginning when he was going. He probably wasn't making that noise. He does 18 necrotic damage, and you do see a couple of those wounds close up a little bit.
Every time she says that.
And then, yeah, I guess he's gonna stay right there. He's not happy about that, but he's got a lot of hit points he can drain from you, and he's excited about that. The dragon! It's the dragon's turn. The dragon! The dragon, oh, I gotta see if he gets his breath weapon back. He does not.
Good God.
The dragon comes swooping down on top of Bernie.
Of course.
He is going to make a bite and 2 claw attacks. That's an 18 versus your AC. That is a 15 versus your AC. That might not hit.
Hold on, if it matches.
Yes.
Ooh, can I use my little thing?
You can. You can use your flame shield. It'll go
I'm
off.
gonna use my flame shield. It's gonna go off.
Yeah. And the 16 will hit you, right?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. All right. So he's gonna bite. He lands in front of you. He goes, swipe, swipe, with swipes. And you go ahead and her shield is this nice little phoenix flaming shield, and as a reaction, she can set it off and do fire damage.
It's
You roll that.
6, which seems really paltry right now, but it's 6 damage. So,
6 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Because he's wooden, right?
The audience might be ahead of me. Hold on, because you will take damage. So,
Bernie,
so that's 25 piercing damage from the bite.
my spirit shield's gonna go, and Bernie, you're gonna.
How far away are you? Can you be?
Oh shit! Let me actually look at the range.
How close do they have to be for your spirit shield?
Yeah, I'm out of range. Never mind.
Nope.
Yes, of course.
Take 25 from the bite.
I tried. Okay, I tried to do the nice thing.
You can take 15 from the claws. Are you still alive?
Yes, I am.
That's good. Your spirit. The shield goes off in a gout of flame. How much fire damage did you do?
6.
Yeah, it does a lot more than that. Yeah, because you remember, because Travancore knows it's not really a dragon, and Jonathan says it's a construct, and you're like, this MFer is made out of wood. Fire, oh yeah!
What I'm hearing is JMM signature spell is coming up.
JMM will remember this.
You now have a dragon right in front of you, and it is done. Jonathan, the magic muscular, you watch as your friend, your comrade, your healer, is almost gored to death by this giant wooden construct and takes a flaming gout up one of the legs. What do you do?
My outsides are on the my insides are on the outside.
Don't worry. Alright, we are going to go ahead and cast Fireball at 50.
So he does make the DC, so he'll take half damage, but he will take, because it's fire damage, we will double that damage.
Okay, this is what I'm working with, folks.
So essentially whatever you roll, he's still gonna take.
Alright, so that is a 6, that's a 5. No 1, so they don't get converted. Math,
Because he's an elemental adept.
I'm an elemental adept, so my fireball is a little bit better. This one actually kind of sucks. For 5th level. This is, it's only going to be 30. Oh, wait. I just got a thing where I add my intelligence modifier to a single damage roll every spell. So it's actually 37.
All right. So he rolls out of the way and only seems to take half the damage, but half of that damage is fire, and it doesn't like fire, and so it actually takes all the damage. And as part of this thing goes up in flames, you see the veneer on the wood start to crackle and bubble. You watch as splinters of wood turn black. And, oh, it's a bad smell. Anything else you'd like to do?
Jonathan, the Nebuchadnezzar would like to move. How far away is he from Bernie?
5 feet.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to move 30 feet closer to the warlock, but still in hopefully counter spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at this point, yeah, you'd probably be within 60 feet.
Okay,
Well, you're 59 from Bernie, because she moved 1 foot closer to you.
All right, Bernie, it's your turn. You have a giant dragon in your face. Well, construct. Well, a burning dragon.
So I have 5 hit points left. And
Hey, girl, you do you.
but Bernie's angry and irrational. So I think she's just going to kill it. She's going to cast Flame Strike.
Oh, shit.
Bernie saw Jonathan cast a fireball, and Bernie went, I can do that. I have divine fireball.
I'm pissed off. I'm constantly pissed off.
some D6 for me.
Now remind me, is flame strike actual fire damage or is it divine?
It is fire damage.
Excellent. Go ahead and, is it an attack?
You need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Fail.
Yes, you do.
Alright, so I need 4d6 for the fire and 4d6 for the radiant.
And I do need those split because he will take double the fire damage, but not double the radiant.
Alright, here we go.
Math, everybody. Stay in school.
Okay, 5, 10, 17 radiant.
Okay?
And 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 fire damage.
All right. Yeah, you don't kill it, but it's.
What do you mean I don't kill it?
It's, I mean, it is still a corporeal object that is trying to currently killing you, that is on a lot of fire and seems to be very injured, but it is not dead.
So Bernie's gonna lift up her small intestine. And as a bonus action, she's gonna continue to attack with her spiritual, intellectual properties on me.
All right, on the warlock, go ahead and.
Ooh, and because we're flanking, right?
We are flanking.
Advantage.
Oh, it's gonna be bigger. Oh.
That's not a good noise. Oh, that
What'd
noise.
you roll?
13.
Bing! Off the magic, the mage armor. Sorry.
Boo.
All right. Top of the round, Carlton. You got vampiric touched and you did not like it.
Yeah, no. Gonna keep swinging at him.
Swing away.
Alright, that's gonna be a 24.
Yes, that hits.
Wow, that was a pause.
That was a pause.
9 slashing, 2 lightning.
Okay.
Second attack. Oof, that's going to be a 15.
You watch as his hand goes, ah! And he casts shield, and it does not hit.
Counterspell.
All right.
Aha!
I need you to roll.
Okay. Wow.
Wait, I'm casting shield?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Oh, right,
We're not going into mechanical shit.
Well,
Yes.
that's a 26.
You counterspell it, so yes, you do hit.
Alright, so that's 13 slashing and 2 lightning.
All right. You've basically taken away the vampiric touch that he stole from you, and he's looking once.
I said, give me back my life.
He's looking in.
If I can't have it, no one can.
And Bernie in a weak voice goes, that's not how it works.
Anything else?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna bonus action second wind.
Sure.
And get some of those health points back.
You get some of that health back, Dragoncore, as soon as he gets that health back. You're on deck.
Okay.
I like how we kind of are going in order. I didn't
Okay.
mean it that way. I just realized that it is just kind of down the line.
So,
6? Okay.
65.
You did not get 65 health back.
No, she's asking for a back.
Oh,
I
okay.
got 10 back.
Like, you did not second win for 65 points of health. Come on.
I'm a super fighter.
What do you think this is?
6th edition.
Dragoncore, it is your turn.
How close is Bernie?
30 feet. She didn't move that far.
Okay, I can use my full movement. Walk up to Bernie and cast Cure Wounds.
Absolutely. Is this the first time you've cast Cure Wounds? Is this your first time?
This is the first time I'm casting this. I recently moved to the house. I'm also a druid. Any druids in the house? There's
Yeah, there is.
Oh, he's all crunchy now. He's gonna heal me.
Hey!
a pretty good roll. Okay, so you're gonna get 9 hit points back.
There you go.
I think your small intestine comes back, but you're not
Small
in great shape.
intestine goes back, large intestine is no longer perforated.
Anything else?
Hunter's Mark is still on the dragon, right? And the dragon is like stiff breeze, kind of not doing great, but...
Neither of them look great, but the dragon is now in your face. And you do smell the burning veneer.
Well...
Varnish, when it starts to burn, oh god, that's a smell.
Dragoncore is going to think that is a good deed and wear the countries later, and then meanwhile, somewhere else, a certain bard named Kenny Baggins Jr. is waiting in the wings to take his place as one of the heroes of greatness. And
Okay. It is the Warlock's turn. The Warlock's not doing very well.
Good.
The Warlock is upset.
Get fucked.
He's going to dimension door away from the Carlton.
Go what?
He's dimensioning dooring away from you. You watch as a white, basically a doorway appears next to him, and he just
6.
faster. Doosh, doosh, doosh. The truth, you swipe at its tail as it goes by, as it rushes up to Carlton. Actually, I think this will be more fun. Carlton, roll a d6 to see if the dragon gets his breath back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck me.
What'd you roll?
A 6. Well, lady and gentlemen, it's been an honor serving with you.
I would like for you to make a dexterity saving throw, which you are very good at.
And I do see this coming, so I get advantage.
You do see it coming.
Alright, so that's a 19 on the die, that'll be a 22.
Alright, you will take half of 56 damage.
Half of 56 was... Alright,
56 is what you would have
so
taken,
28,
except
what type of damage?
it's magical
Piercing?
splinter damage. It's technically force damage.
Technically force, I cannot shake off force.
You can, but you do take only half of it.
Yeah. You're good.
As this dragon turns around and Fido tries to help his master, you do notice the dragon, like parts of it are on fire, its tail is all slashed up and beaten, and I mean, everybody's looking pretty. Jonathan, it's your turn.
How far away is Fido from the warlock?
60 feet.
Oh. 60 feet.
Cool, kids.
How large is the radius of your
I
fire?
did stay in school and I still can't do math.
How large is the radius of your
I
fire?
watched square one as a kid and we're still struggling.
It's 20 feet, so I can't get home. Alright, we'll just down the dragon then. I'm going to cast another, this is probably overkill, another 5th level fireball on the dragon.
Alright. It's going to make a save. It rolls a 19, but it's going to, let us remember, even though it takes half damage from saving, you are doing fire damage, which it takes double damage of. So whatever you roll,
It's
it's
kind
going
of
to take.
like winning an Olympic gold medal in gymnastics or something.
It is the Olympic torch at this moment, doesn't it?
Much better roll this time.
Here we go.
Yeah.
A lot of high numbers.
It is indeed a lot of high numbers. So with my, with adding my intelligence modifier, that is going to be 50 damage.
Splinters go flying everywhere. Carlton has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Guts around me.
You only take 8 piercing damage. It's okay.
Oh, I can shut that off. But not all that.
It's okay.
Everything's fine!
But then you just see one giant splitter sticking out of my shoulder and I look at you.
Alright, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna move 30 feet closer to the wall.
Sure. He looks distraught. Bernie, it is your turn. You watch as the dragon explodes, basically.
Bernie is gonna, grab the rest of her bowels and. How close am I to the warlock?
You not very close. Like 100 and some odd.
Like within 120 feet?
You could get within 120 feet with your
Let's
movement.
get within 120 feet.
You can do that. It'll take all your movement to do it, but you can.
So we're gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Sure.
Because let's just kill this asshole and then we can heal everybody when we're done. So we're gonna cast it. What level should I cast it at? Should we just try to kill him?
Just fucking kill it.
Let's fucking kill him?
Just fucking
I
kill it.
had 1 level spell slot last year. I'm just kidding.
Do it.
There's one octopus in the back of this crowd that's going, no! Alright, is
Wait,
this
did you actually bring an octopus?
is this an attack or a save? Alright. Oh no, what'd you roll?
12, but I have
Alright, add your pluses.
Okay, what's 9?
21.
21. Sorry, I don't think about math. Did I hit?
Good news, that hits.
This is the level 5. So I cast a spell. This is a level 1 spell. But it's fun when you cast it really high. So I get to add a d6 for every spell slot. So I get basically 5d6.
There you go.
Roll all the d6.
Alright. Oh, NurseJosh are pretty packed.
They are really pretty nice dice.
Those level up dice are nice.
Oh, they feel so nice. 5, 8, 19, 20, do I have anything to it? No, it's radiant damage though, I figured he's a warlock, right?
Well, the radiant damage doesn't do anything extra, but the 20 or so odd points above his health does. So, describe in more detail the deck of Albert Rito, who wanted to try to kill you guys.
Expecto Patronum, asshole.
As he dies, he goes, "But I'm not hurt!" As his body falls to the foosball table, there is a moment where you feel a little tingle, like an electric shock, and then your vision goes gray again, and for a moment, it's disconcerting, and then you're back in your bodies, gripping the foosball table, and you watch as Albrecht and his 4 goons, their eyes roll back into their heads and they fall over dead.
This is because of the mayonnaise.
You see that there's people around you and they're cheering because they've been watching all of this happen. And so as you come back to yourselves and these people who are trying to kill you fall over in defeat, the crowd goes wild.
Team spellcaster.
It's like you guys are anything.
Carlton!
Team Daryl. Izumi comes running on over to you and says, "I am so sorry. If I had known what was going to happen, I definitely would have intervened in some way. But that performance was amazing. And we'll have to rebuild the foosball table." And you do notice there's like one of the dragons has come off of its handle and is lying burnt on the ground. Which is on the foosball table, which is a little weird.
They did it.
You watched. No, you were defending yourself. I totally understand it. Obviously, you win the competition, but in recompense for what has happened, is there anything I can do for you?
Takoyaki!
I know this great food place down the way. We can have dinner and talk about what you want.
I have a Pinterest board filled with several thousand ideas for what I would like for our home.
We like oak.
I could.
Mid-century modern?
I would like for you to come with me to dinner and describe your home in great detail, and I will furnish it with the best of everything I have to offer. Does that sound good?
We won the fucking Price is Right.
Nobody's pets died, so all of you fools out there with Naraline, you can be happy.
Oh yeah, the octopus is like miles away. Izumi takes you all on out and because of what Bernie was talking about, to sushi dinner, which, you don't get to kill an octopus, but you do get to have, sushi, and takes the dimensions of your house and finds out what exactly you would like and is going to now furnish what has been a year or 2 of you having a house with absolutely no furniture.
We had a credenza.
He did make a credenza, which I didn't know what that was.
And if you don't know what that was, it's okay. Nobody really knows what that is. And congratulations, you win D&D. We would love for you to go on these adventures with us. I'll be around for a couple minutes if you have any questions, or if you'd like to ask the panel any questions. Otherwise, please go enjoy the rest of your activities.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can know when we post our next video. And if you want to play games with us, be sure to hop on our Discord. Links are below and on our website at binarystargaming.com.